October was a month where I read a lot, but I only finished 5 books. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's technically November now, but we need to go ahead and do the October wrap-up. Last month in September, I had done a vlog style wrap-up, and I really loved that I did that, and I'd like to go back to that. But in October, I didn't end up filming that, so we're just going to sit down and we're going to talk about all the books. I have here my journal. As you can tell, it's very empty. I think the best way to approach this would just be to go down the list and talk about each of the books. What I got to, what I didn't get to, why I didn't get to it, what I read a little bit of. So let's talk about this. First things first, we always talk about the devotions and 40 Days for Life and all that stuff. In Jesus Calling, I actually did pretty well at this. I didn't read it physically though. I actually looked it up online and read it, so I do need to update this. Okay. So I did pretty well at this. I just wasn't reading it physically. I just would Google it and then read it that way, which is fine. I mean, it's the exact same thing. The particular blog that I found it on then also includes a prayer by the blog host, or whatever you would call it. Blogger, I guess. So I've been enjoying that because it gives you the whole Jesus Calling passage, and then he lists the verses out, so you're not having to like look them up yourself, which, how lazy can we be? But it's so nice that it's right in front of you, and then there's like a prayer to pray, and I just think that it's been really great. Then we have Gospel-Centered Kids Ministry, which, to be honest, I think I only read 1 chapter in here at the very beginning of the month, because then I was off for 2 months. I was then off for 2 weeks, so I wasn't reading this. And then the last 2 Saturdays, I have forgotten to read this, which I generally try to read it on Saturday. So hopefully this weekend we will get back into it, but I am about halfway through, so making good progress. 40 Days for Life devotional. I have great plans to read this. I read approximately 2 of the devotionals in here. I don't know what it is that I just don't pick this up. I really want to finish it, and then I just end up not, which is not cool. Okay, so I feel bad. I didn't end up reading any more in Unplanned. I really thought I was going to, but I didn't. And I don't know what it is that I really want to read these books, and then I just don't. But to be fair, October was a very slumpy month for reading, but still, I still want to get back to this, but anyway, we'll talk more about that in the November TBR. There's just an overview of that. Some successful, some not so successful. So then we have 12 in 2022. I had 2 books that I needed to read for this past month. The first one, I actually finally have a physical copy. A little bit salty about it because this thing cost me like $15, and it is a tiny little book, but it is the 15 Fundamental Laws of De-Escalation, and I've not read it. I literally just got it in the mail yesterday, so I'm looking forward to reading it. It looks like it should be really easy to read, so I'm looking forward to that, but I'm also like, seriously, this thing cost me a lot of money, and this is one of the first books that I've actually paid full price for this entire year, and it's tiny. Anyway, sorry for the rant. That's just the situation here. The other book that I had for 12 in 2022 is an ebook of Timeline, and I didn't get to this at all, but it will carry over into November. So then I had planned to participate in Thrill Till Halloween, and I guess you could technically say that I did participate in Thrill Till Halloween, but I did not finish the book. That was the buddy read for Thrill Till Halloween. I didn't even get to watch the live show. It was like an escape room kind of thing. I didn't get to do that either. Got about halfway into The Last Housewife right here. It's fine, but I'm not like riveted. Like, I guess I could continue it, but I'm gonna for right now say that I have soft DNF'd it, which means that I can pick it up in the future, although I don't have immediate plans to do so. Let's get into the TBR game that I had from last month and all of the books that I was anticipating reading. As you can see, some are turned around, some are not. If you've been here before, you know what that means. I'm slightly ashamed, but it's fine. I did the best I could under the circumstances. The first book on my TBR game was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Did I read this? No, I haven't even started it. But of course, I want to carry this over. This is one of those books that everyone seems to have read, and I have not. So I feel like I need to know what I'm missing. And I love the cover. I mean, it's definitely a little bit beat up, but it's so pretty. And this is one that I do hope to get to in November. So there's the situation with that. The next book was Runaway by Harlan Coben, and I know somebody on a reading sprint said that they have this book, and I'm going to say this. If you want to do a buddy read with me of this book, because I didn't read it in October in case that wasn't abundantly clear, if you want to do a buddy read, let me know. Otherwise, there's a good chance I might just go ahead and unhaul this. I hope I don't regret that. I just am not feeling the desire to read this, and I will talk more in November what my goal for this reading month is, but this doesn't really fit into the reading goal unless I was doing a buddy read. So if you want to do a buddy read, let me know. But other than that, this one will probably get unhauled. I am like awkwardly playing with this because I want to see the spine. Yeah, it's just pretty, it's cool looking, but I don't know. I'm intrigued enough, but I'm not like dying to read it. And so I feel like it's taking up space. Anyway, so the next book on the TBR is one that I did read. Hooray, congratulations to me. That is Secrets of the Vine, and I started reading this in Virginia Beach because I realized that the little chapel that I used to always go and do like quiet time and stuff in, I realized that the chapel, it has like this pretty stained glass. I'll try to insert a picture if I remember to do so. Stained glass is actually based off the passage that talks about Jesus being the vine and we are the branches. And so I was like, that would be the perfect place to start reading this. And I did start it there. I finished it when I got home because I really didn't do a whole lot of reading while I was traveling. But I liked it fine. I had a really hard time physically reading it because it's like an effort to open up. So as much as I like this, there's a good chance I might be unhauling this. Very pretty, but just very frustrating to have to like press it open to read every single page. So next book is Why Pro-Life, and I really do want to read this. It's short. I mean, like, it shouldn't be that difficult, but for whatever reason, I've just not gotten to it. 40 Days for Life, it goes through November 6th. So I have approximately 4 days that I could really try to focus on these two. I might need to do that because otherwise I'm going to feel guilty and sad. So I may need to focus on those two. Next book, one that I was excited to try out and that in the end I actually was pretty disappointed in. I talked about this in a vlog. I did like it was 24 hours of reading. It's called a 24-hour reading vlog, but it was more like 48 hours, 36 hours actually. But this was part of that vlog. It was Doom with a View. If you guys remember, I was hoping this would be like friendly ghost vibes, like fun, like a mystery, getting clues throughout the whole thing. And that's not what it was. It was really very lackluster to me. Very much just in the beginning, the events happen. There's an individual who is dead, found dead by the inn owner. And even in that first scene, the inn owner walks in and tells her mother, like, oh, so-and-so is dead. They're in the driveway. And it's just very robotic. And it's like, nobody's freaking out about this. They're just kind of talking like, this is the morning news, you know? And that bothered me. I was hoping that there would be like clues to what happened throughout. There was like 1 or 2 clues, and most of it was a conversation of people being like, do you think this person did it? Nah, they didn't do it. Do you think this person did it? No, there's no way that they did that. And not really giving any reasoning behind it. It was very blah, unfortunately. So this is getting unhauled, as cute as the cover is, and as much as I was hoping to like it, it will be finding a new home, hopefully. And the next book is one that my Bookstagram followers wanted me to read, and that is The Silent Patient. I read about, I don't remember how many pages, but I got a good percentage into The Silent Patient, and I just wasn't liking it at all. And so I'm torn if this is like a softie enough and I might go back to it, or if I'm just done. I know that a lot of people love that book, and so I feel like, am I missing something that is making this book amazing and I'm just not seeing it? or is it something that it gets better at the end, or like what is it? I don't know, but I'm missing that connection that everyone seems to have with it, and I'm not liking it, so I just haven't finished it, and it is what it is. To be fair, The Silent Patient is what put me in that 2-week-ish long reading slump, so that is the situation. The next book on the TBR game was We Were Liars, and I did start this. I like it fine. I'm interested enough. I really, really, really liked the beginning. Like, the writing style is very engaging, or was very engaging at the very beginning. I'm not sure if I'm still as into it as when I first started. I haven't even gotten that far into it. I think I like it. I just was feeling very slumpy, like I said, and so I think that just kept me from fully connecting with this, but I do plan to pick this up again soon-ish. It might be in November, it might not be, I don't know, but I do plan to pick this back up. The next book is one that I requested over and over and over again on Libby, and it never came in, so unfortunately, I didn't read this one. It's Hollowpox. I'm just going to have to wait until the new year and I'll try again. But I really wanted to read that, but I didn't get to it. Unfortunately, it's okay. Because I had, not a whole lot of reading, not a whole lot of being in the reading mood. Anyway, it was fine. The next book is one that I've never heard anyone not like. Right? I've never heard anyone not like. Yes. Everyone I know that's read this book really, really enjoys it or loves it. My case, it was really, really enjoy, but I know a lot of people love this book. It was their favorite of the month. Some people, it's their favorite of the year. That is Hidden Pictures, which I really, really enjoyed this. Like I said, I didn't find it as scary as I thought I was going to. A lot of people were talking about how freaked out they were by the pictures and everything. I'm pretty much a scaredy cat, and I really wasn't that scared by it. I mean, there were a few that were creepy, and the last one definitely was had me, but I wasn't that scared. There was a part in the story that I was scared for the characters, but I wasn't scared for me. I don't know how to explain that, but I really did enjoy this. It has a twist that I did not see coming, and in hindsight, probably should have, but I don't think you would really notice it, even if you knew to look for it. Yeah, pretty interesting. At least since I had a background having nannied in the past, so kind of felt that vibe as well. Now we're getting to my favorite 2 books of the month. So, where is it? Here it is. Okay. This is my second favorite book of the month, to be fair, but it is Hairpin Bridge, and I know a lot of people don't like this book, and I can totally see why. There's a lot of talking about, gunfights and stuff. I'm trying to explain this without spoiling anything. There's a lot of just, talking about, well, one of the main characters is a cop. So do with that what you will. You're gonna get a whole lot of talking about guns and, fighting, and it is what it is. That's in here a lot. This story itself, we kind of know what happens at the beginning, or we know what the official story is, but it's just a way of, figuring out what really happened. And I enjoyed this so much. It didn't stop. It was constantly moving. There were constantly twists and turns. In the end, I was kind of do I even really know what happened? Is that what really, really happened? I don't know. I feel like I could say all that without spoiling anything because there's so much to it. So, those are my thoughts, but I really enjoyed this. Okay, and then my favorite book of the month is 7 Days by Alex Lake. This book had me from the first sentence. It was so just pulls on your heart. You're rooting for the main characters. You want, well, I'll just kind of explain what happens. It's basically this girl is kidnapped as a teenager by a person, a guy, we know that. She's kidnapped by him, has 3 children by him, and every year, for every child's third birthday, he comes and he takes that child away. So she is now on her third child, and that third child's third birthday is coming up, and she has 7 days basically to try to save her child. And it doesn't stop moving. There's like 1 or 2 chapters that are kind of like, wasn't really necessary, but in the end, it kind of was important for the story. I was mind blown. I wanted to constantly keep reading. I needed to know what happened. It was so, so, so good. And I've only heard one other person ever talk about this book, and I'm not sure why that is. But if you haven't heard of it, you haven't read it, go check it out. Give it a chance, because I just think it was great. Okay, so we have 2 more books to talk about. First of all, my rollovers bag. I had No God But One from September rolled over into October, and guess what? Here it is right here. It's going to roll over into November unless I end up choosing a different one. We shall see. I did read more in this one. Like, I read several chapters. I'm a lot farther along in this. Again, just the reading slump. I wasn't wanting to pick it up, or like, I was wanting to pick it up, but I was having trouble focusing on it when I was trying to read, and I don't want to be like rushing through it because there's so much good stuff in here. It's so fascinating. Really enjoy it. I have no doubt that this will be a 5-star in the end. I was trying to make sure I said that sentence properly. Yes, I'm predicting this is going to be a 5-star. That's what I just can't see it not being 5 stars. But I just wasn't able to like fully engage in reading it this month. So there is a possibility that I will end up rolling this into November. There's also a chance that I will draw a different book and read that one in November as the first rollover. I don't know yet, but this is one that I am not DNFing. Like, I'm definitely going to continue it. I'm going to read it. And I just didn't get to it in October. And the last book is Synapse. I do want to continue this. I just have not picked it back up. I need to finish my Blind Dates Bookshop birthday box vlog, and I just haven't done it just because I've had so much else to read, and I want to be able to focus on this book only, and the treats in the box. And I just didn't feel like I could do that with everything else that I was trying to read. So this is getting pushed off again. I really want to finish it in November. I don't want to go into the Christmas season still having my birthday present to enjoy. So I'm going to try. We shall see if this happens, but I didn't get to it in October, sadly. But that is everything for October. Like I said, I finished 5 books, read a lot, but only finished 5, and that's okay. I'm kind of glad that happened, because now I am ready to get into November reading. I'm ready to crush it. I am going to be choosing 5 books for the TBR game. I have Gilmoreathon I'm participating in. I have a bunch of ebooks I want to read, and then I am giving myself some extra space to just mood read this month, and I am super excited about it because I think that will really help me enjoy reading, but also relax enough to be prepped for Bookmas, which is in less than a month at this point. Oh my gosh, can't wait. I think this is just really setting me up for a great last 2 months of the year, and I'm so here for it. So, all that to say, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit chaotic. It was a lot of, hey, I didn't read this book that I was supposed to read. I'm sorry about that. I hope you still got something meaningful out of this video. Give it a like if you did. Comment below and tell me, please, what your favorite and least favorite books in October were. Last TBR game of the year is coming. It should be uploaded 2 days from now. Whatever you're watching this, it should be day after tomorrow that I put up my TBR game. In November, I want to alternate. One day is going to be a video posted. One day will be reading sprints. That's the goal. Fingers crossed. We shall see if it actually happens, but that's what I want to do. So stay tuned. Be sure you're subscribed. Don't miss it. Don't miss any of it. But especially don't miss that TBR game, because it's the last TBR game of the year before Bookmas next month. And I'm just really excited for it. Just really, really excited. on that note, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!